What's up with Big More? Big More, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. What's going on with you?
I'm good. I'm hanging on, educating myself as usual. Working. Still paying my bills. Trying to stay up.
We talked before?
Yeah, yeah, we did. Based out of Huntsville, Alabama. I think I think we talked like what was it last year or something like that? Or no,
Okay.
I think it was earlier this year, around like 4 or 5 months ago. And I was trying to get your opinion on pretty much like what companies out there that I should apply for in the final mile. Now that I've
Mhm.
done my research on that and I know who to apply for, where I'm still stuck at is my business plan. Um, because I'm having a hard time. Because I mean, you was telling me that when it comes to your cost per mile and you're doing final mile curbside starting off, do you
Wait,
need
you
to
you
know
doing
your
you
cost per
doing you
mile?
doing you doing final mile?
No, 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 no. Not as of right now, but that's what I'm starting into doing.
What do you? So you're not even running yet?
No, 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 not at all. I'm investing into the business. I'm still doing my education, still learning, but I'm not fully, there to where I can say I can start. Because I know me personally, I know that I don't have enough revenue, enough working capital to even start. So I
Okay.
mean, I see you shaking your head, man. I mean, like, what's going on,
Nah,
man?
I'm
Like,
I-
what's your
I'm still thinking about the last guy, bro. That I just don't like the way that shit
yeah?
ended, bro. Like I don't know, man. For some reason, I just man, like see
I mean,
this why I stopped doing this show, bro. Because
yeah,
man, some of these like hey man, bro, like that shit, man. I
yeah.
don't know why this shit bothered me like that, bro. Like, all right, man,
I
listen, I'm listening,
mean,
bro. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening, bro.
you holding them accountable though. You know what I'm saying? And a
I
lot of
I
people
I
need help.
I I didn't hold him accountable. It's
Oh,
just
you didn't?
I think that conversation should have just I need to talk to him offline because I don't think he was really I'm listening to you, big dog. I'm
Yeah,
listening. So you said you
I'm
don't
working
have
on
the
my business plan,
okay, you
and
working
I'm
on your
trying to
business
figure
plan.
out: do I need to know my cost per mile starting off doing
You're
it?
not gonna you're not gonna have a cost per mount because you don't
Cost per mile, right?
have
Right.
nothing
Okay.
to go off of. First, do your business plan, determine where you want to land. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it sounds like you want to land in final mile. So
Right. I do.
so if you want to land in final mile, you said you in Alabama,
Huntsville. Yeah, Huntsville.
Huntsville. All right, so then you need to do your business plan and then do your market analysis based on you know your final mile and understanding that you don't really have to worry about that cost per mile if you're gonna do final mile.
Okay.
More
I mean,
percentage, more.
I have big plans and I have big future and goals for my business besides finding them out. I have. I mean, if I actually make enough money, I'm thinking about starting intermodal and expedited shipping if I can. If I can do all of that at one time, that would be dope. But I know it may be impossible. Um, from
Well,
listening from y'all.
nothing is impossible, but you talking about intermodal as far as rail
Yeah, yeah, rail. Yes,
and
yes.
so I'm saying what aspect like where would you what do you plan on doing for intermodal?
Um, just pretty much the I guess like the what's it called? And I'm still learning, so don't don't judge me if I'm saying this the wrong way. But I was planning on starting off as cargo vans, box trucks, semi trucks, ships, boats. I was planning on starting with pretty much everything all in one. But I know it's gonna take time for me to actually.
Oh, what you mean starting with everything all in one, bro? Do you
I mean,
understand
I'm sorry.
do you understand? Hold on, you're getting ahead of yourself. Do you understand what
Yeah, yeah.
intermodal is and what it consists of?
It's pretty much what is it? Damn.
Enough said. Stop getting ahead of yourself. You thinking it's okay to think big and shit, but when you say you're gonna get into intermodal, so I'm looking at what you gonna do by a bunch
No,
of
no, no, no. That's like later on down the line, dog. Like this is totally out of my starting point. Like this is like way down the line.
okay, well what you wanna
My
do
my
now? What you wanna do now, bro? Because intermodal,
starting out.
this some big boy. This is you talking about buying rail containers and moving rail container. Like shit, what type of relationship you gonna have with Union Pacific and all? Like, what you finna build some
I have to
rail?
build my
Like,
way up, like you said. I have to
but
build my
but
way up
but
to it.
but here's the thing, bro. And I'm not trying to, because some people like, man, don't shit on his dreams, but let's intermodal, like that's that's a
I know.
lot of like, that's a millions and billions of dollars to get it. Like, you talking about partnerships with rail lines, you talking about containers, you talking about, all right, let's start from the basics though, big dog.
Right. As I said before, I'll be starting with cargo vans, doing final mile.
Final mile, small parcel.
Curbs. No, yeah, what partial.
Parcel.
Yes.
Okay, so what, like office supplies, medical
Yeah, office
supplies?
supplies. Yes, office supplies, medical supplies, maybe packages. Home goods,
Okay.
mail. Yeah,
So what you
that
what
right
you
there.
need from what you need from me, big dog?
I mean, you just already answered my question. You told me that I don't need a cost per mile starting this, but in
I
my
I
business
I didn't
plan,
I,
how would
I
I?
said I didn't say you need you're gonna need a cost per mile if you enter into
Mile,
certain
right,
lanes. But right
right.
now it sounds like you're at the beginning stages of your business plan, right?
Yes,
So
right.
I think based on what you're telling me, intermodal and all this stuff, I don't even really think you even understand
No, no,
what
no, no,
some of
no.
this
But
stuff.
but see, like you're not hearing me. Like that's later on down the line. That's like once I make it. Once I have enough money, I have enough revenue, I have enough workers and staff, and if this is, that's like something if I want to transition into. But it's not
Mm,
just intermodal. It's expedited shipping. It's pretty much anything else that's involved in the logistics industry,
mm-hmm.
pretty much.
So you want to
But
be
that's
like
like,
JB Hunt.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. But
You got
I
a
was
plan?
previously stated,
You got a plan for
yeah, I
that?
have a plan. Yes, I mean, I don't have a plan right at the moment, but I do have a plan that I'm actually working on. Starting off with the final mile first.
Okay. How old are
I
you?
mean, I'm 24. I mean, I can show you my plan. Um, because I actually have a plan actually that explains my mission statement, that explains my market analysis, how competitive it is in my market, how competitive it is in my industry. But
As
it's
it
just
as
a
it
pricing
as it
strategy
as it pertains to what?
as it pertains to trucking. Well, not trucking, logistics in general.
What's okay? What specific lane in your market? Because
Dedicated.
you still entry. So where are we entering that?
I'm entering as an owner operator from owner operator to dedicated.
In what lane, bro? See, here's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I appreciate your ambition, but you got to start from somewhere. When we talking about intermodal, we're talking about expedited shipping, we're talking about billions of dollars. Now, I'm
Right.
not the type of person to shit on nobody's dreams and shit, but
It's
the
tough, man. I
reason
mean,
the
it's tough.
hold on, big dog, well, you gotta let me finish.
Go ahead, cook. You got it.
This ain't a cook. I'm not in a cook mood no more.
Okay, well
After the
then
last
just
call, I ain't in a cook mood.
I feel you, I understand you, but go ahead though. I'm here.
I'm in a somber mood. You see what I'm saying?
Man,
I'm somber right now. You dig what I'm saying? Here's what I'm saying. I think you need to keep that stuff in your mind, but I think you need to focus on an entry point because you all over the place, big dog. I'm asking you where you going to enter. You say final mile. Okay, cargo vans. Doing what? Parcel? Are you going to do big and bulky? Are you going to do medical supply?
yeah, partial medical supplies. Yes,
All right, so you're going to start with one van, right?
yes.
I'm getting some feedback. You playing me in another TV or something or another phone?
No, not at all.
I started hearing some feedback all of a sudden. All right, so Have you looked at the opportunities that are presented in that sector down in Huntsville?
A few. I want to say a lot. I haven't done enough research. I'm just now starting to do my research on it.
Okay. So yeah, you're going to do more of that research once you start your business plan. I would do a
Right.
business plan. Within that business plan, I would study the different entry points that you can enter in. You can enter in,
Right.
right? Because you said you don't have the capital yet, right?
Right.
So
I don't.
I think focus more on starting the big mega billion-dollar plans that you got. I'm not saying don't get it out of your mind, but I'm saying put that to the side for a second and focus on the entry point. Because what you're talking about,
I
you're talking about
mean,
billion. Hold on, listen to me. You're talking about billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars.
okay. Okay.
All
That's
right,
cool. I understand that. But
but no, ain't no but. Let me
no, no, no,
finish.
no, no. I'm asking you though. Like when you talk about lanes, like how would you expect for me to answer that? If I say I'm starting off curbside with a cargo van doing medical supplies, like is that a
Okay.
lane? Is that considered as a lane? Like what are you saying about lanes though? Because I'm,
Do
I'm
you
still
want to do? Well,
learning.
you want to do
Right?
parcels? You can do
Yes.
there's some big and bulky that you can do with a cargo van. So you can
Yes.
do medical supplies.
Right.
You know, it's
Whatever.
different things that you can do with a cargo van. You could do big and bulky sports equipment. Peloton is a cargo van account. There's only so many
Right.
Pelotons you can deliver and assemble in one day. You can't, what I'm saying? So that's a cargo van account.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
different. It's different things you can
Lanes
do with a
too.
cargo van. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Okay. I pretty much got you. Okay. Because right now I'm already in the medical industry. I'm already assembling beds, delivering walkers, rollators, tanks, concentrators. I'm actually setting them up, every other day for patients, and I
mm-hmm.
love doing it. It's just I
Mm-hmm.
want to do it with my own company, and I don't know
All right.
because I hear on your channel you talk about why everybody wants to get into business. I hear that a lot on your channel. Me
No.
personally,
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook.
yeah, but me personally, the reason why I would like to get into this business is because not just that I don't want to work for nobody else, but two, man, these corporations down here. I mean, I can't speak for the North, but for the South, man, these corporations they do you dirty. You can be I mean, you could be one of the best employees, and if anything happens or if they accuse you of something, like it's like you lose your job like that, and you got to switch another job, you got to find another job, and it's just how the way they treat people. It's how the way they treat folks down here in the South.
What you
So I
mean?
mean, I can't really speak. I can't really speak for the North. I can't really speak how the way they go up there. But down here, it's the dirty South for a reason. These folks
I
down here, they do not care about nobody.
I had this conversation with somebody yesterday in the Discord, and they didn't understand. I When you say they don't care, and they what you mean? What they do?
So I've been in situations to where I've got fired because it was something that, well, I would say a particular route that I was already on that I ran. I did my part on it, did what I was supposed to do on it. But you got these other drivers that don't come in, that don't show up, and they
Mm.
adding these extra routes to you, and they expect for you to do two or three people's jobs all at one time, and you're not getting paid enough for that. Me, I'm not the type of guy that's just gonna sit there and let, what I'm saying, bullshit slide. I'm gonna speak up on the bullshit and I'm gonna say what I need to say because at the end of the day, we all have a right to speak our minds and speak our thoughts. And I feel like with some of these corporations, it's a lot of discrimination. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
play the race card on here online, all on the internet, but some of these corporations, you can tell whose side they really choose when it comes to their workers, their customers, their drivers, how the way they run their business, operate their business. Me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make a
So
safe,
so you saying they profile?
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
This is what I deal with, and I'm
I
24 years old.
I profile. If you
I
hold
know,
on, let me kick it. And I get where you going with this, but I'm just because you still got a lot of growing to do. When I say grow, I'm talking about wisdom. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna profile. If you ever become a business person, you gonna profile.
but I'm not gonna profile at the wrong driver that's actually coming in on time that's doing his job. They profiling at the wrong people though. That's the
That's a profile. What you just said is a profile. Because that person that's coming in doing his job, you know what you're gonna do?
right.
You're gonna put him in a better situation. You're gonna give him advantages that you're gonna not give the person that's not. That's profiling. You got to know that that person is going above and beyond, and you got to know the person that's not going above and beyond to know that the person that's not going above and beyond to shorten their hours or play with their
Right, but
money or do
that's the
whatever it is
thing.
that you do as a business. That's just what
Right,
businesses do. So I get where
right.
you're coming from for the, because see, here's the thing. I understand the race epithet, the race thing, you know, but at the end of the day, business and business owners profile. I profile, I've been profile, I profile every day.
So let me ask you this: do you profile at the people that go above and beyond for your business, or the people that
Yeah.
don't go above and beyond for you?
Both.
Both. Okay,
Yeah.
so why is that? Because I know you're a business owner. So why is that?
So because the people that go and beyond, those are the people that I put in certain situations. Those are the people who, if I know this is a high profile client, I'm sending that person there. If this I know if it's a high profile client, I'm not sending that person there. That's still a profile. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your work ethic. I'm looking at how you
So
communicate.
what you're saying is that it's okay for
It's
somebody
what I'm
like
telling
me.
you. It's not fair. That's what I'm telling you. You may think you're equal because you got the same uniform on, but at the end of the day, you're not equal, big dog.
No, I know I'm not equal.
All right, so
That's the
no, and
problem.
I'm not speaking about you in general. I'm making up a
Doing something.
hypothetical scenario. If I got two individuals and one is creme de la creme and one is mediocre, just because they work for the same company and they got the same uniform on, they got the same scope of work, I'm giving this guy more opportunity because I know he's going to show up and show out versus this person. That's profiling.
So what you're saying is that the reason why they gave me those routes, those extra routes, when drivers was calling out, was because they seen my
Because
work ethic. They seen
they knew
what I
you would
bring
get
to
the
stuff.
shit done.
Done. I got you. I got you.
I don't see. Here's the thing. Sometimes it may be racially motivated, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it may not be. Because I've had guys where I've worked like Hebrew slaves because I knew they
Right.
was going to get the work done. You see what I'm saying? They got paid, and then the guys
Right.
who I didn't work as hard, why he getting all the work?
Right.
Man,
And that's
why I
another
can't get
thing.
6 days on the schedule? Why are you only scheduling me 3-4 days? Because I'm profiling you.
You
I'm
just point that
using
out.
you. I'm using you for these little studios. I'm using you for the container store shit that I know you can't mess up. I'm profiling you. It ain't
But you're
because I
paying
like
for
this
it.
person. Hold on. It ain't because I like this person, like my personal feelings toward this person. No, I'm profiling your demeanor, your work ethic. I'm profiling your communication. I'm profiling the way you look.
Right.
Listen, if I got a person, man, and you could get mad, it's business. It's not personal. If I got a
Right.
guy and I got a route that's going in a specific neighborhood, Lily White, the guy with the big 5-point star tattoo right here on his neck, and I'm telling you a real story. I had a guy with a big ass 5-point star tattoo right here on his neck. I'm not finna send him to the Lily White neighborhood. I'm keeping him in the city.
I feel
I'm
you.
profiling. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you know what Big Mark want to continue to do? Get that money. If I know I'm going to send Mr. Allwell, I'm going to send Allwell. I'm not finna send Allwell with the big 5-point star on his neck with the You didn't go to say with the two of the tattooed teardrops. What's known don't need to be explained. I'm not
Right.
finna send him to scare these white folks.
Right.
Now, inner city white folks, okay, but the ones out in Barrington, Highland Park, the really affluent, nah, he ain't going out there, big dog. We're gonna keep you in the inner city. Now, you can say what you want to say, but I know my market because I can send them out there, and guess what? It's gonna be some calls made. You know how I know? Because I've had a call made on something that wasn't even that serious. So I have to profile. I've had to profile because I know my market. I know different individuals. I know people. I know how people are going to perceive people. This guy, yeah, he got it. He was once one of them guys. He's still one of them guys if you put him there. But here's a person who's changing his life around, right? Who has changed his life around. We can't undo the past. But at the end of the day, I know if I put him in that situation, how the blowback may be. So I have to profile.
Okay. So I'm going to point out some of the key things that you just said in that whole conversation. You pay them well. Even though you profile them, you pay them well. Okay? These companies down here, they don't do that. They will put all this work on you and expect for you to get all this work done, but don't pay you shit.
Well,
How do
you
we
mean?
deal with it?
What's not pay you shit? What that mean? How much you want to
So
get paid?
more than what I'm making. If I'm doing 2 or 3 people's jobs, I need to get compensated for that. I'm not getting compensated for that. I'm getting paid to do 2 or 3 routes.
So
Well,
you
I'm
not?
sorry, I'm getting
So they not paying you to do the extra route?
no.
So
That's where the problem come in at.
So hold on. So how do they pay you per stop, per route, per hour?
Per hour. Let's just say
So
$18
okay.
an hour.
All right. So when you're doing an extra route, that means it's more hours, right?
Yeah,
Right?
it's more hours, but they
All right, stop. So once you finish your route and then you start this route that you picked up, does the clock stop and you do the second route for free?
no.
The clock keep going, right? At $18 an hour, right?
All right.
All right. So they paying you to do the second and the third route. The clock keep going at $18 an hour, right?
But they whine if you get overtime. They complain about that.
Hold on. Do they pay you to do these extra routes? You just said
No.
So when you do these extra routes, it's for free.
Pretty much. If I'm not, if
No.
it's not overtime,
No, listen to me. When you finish with your route and you go into the second route, does the clock stop or does the clock keep going?
that's not how they run at this company that I'm working for. That's not how it goes.
Okay,
I'm saying
so tell me how it goes, big dog. Tell me how it goes, because I'm not somber no more. I'm giving you the one. I'm not somber no more.
Okay. Listen to me though. Hear me out.
All right.
How it goes is that when you come in and they find out that this person had called out, this person called out. Okay, hey Jerice, we gonna add these stops onto you since this person called out. See, they add it all in one. They add it all in one. Okay,
All right.
that's how it goes.
Okay.
But the problem is that when you have all these stops and you're running throughout the day, let's just say if you come in at 8 o'clock and it's 5 o'clock. Normally my shift is from 8 to 5, right? But after 5 o'clock, if you're still on some of these stops, trying to get these stops knocked out, they whine about it. They don't want you getting enough overtime because you want to know why. In the state of Alabama, guess what? There's no taxes being taken out. So they on people's asses about overtime.
Who's on their ass?
They want to.
Who's on their ass? The state is on your ass?
No. The corporation.
What the corporation? What the corporation got to do with state taxes? You paying your taxes to the state.
Right, but what I'm saying is that it's a company.
So what that got to do with it, big dog?
It has a lot to do with it. What do you mean?
You said they don't want you to go overtime because there ain't no state taxes.
No. I'm just saying the reason why they don't want us to get overtime is because they know that they can't take out taxes from our overtime. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to make sure that we get a certain amount of overtime, right? We get
So
a
they
certain
get.
amount of overtime.
So do you know when they take the taxes out? What you think they do with the taxes when they take it out? You think they just pocket it or something? It's just their
I have
money.
no idea. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like I'm not being compensated enough.
What you saying is not making sense, big dog. That's what I'm telling you. What the taxes? What them not taking taxes out got to do with you working?
I'm just using it as no. I'm just pretty much using it into why they make the decisions that they make when it comes to us getting a certain amount of overtime that we're
But
not
how does?
supposed to be getting.
You're making an argument that as into it benefits them. How does them you not paying state tax benefit them to not want to keep you out to finish the work? What does that got to do with anything?
Man, you're not getting what I'm saying, more.
I get.
Okay.
No, listen to me.
Let's
Listen to me. Listen to me. I get what you're saying. I comprehend very well. This is why I said, what does that have to do with anything?
It doesn't have nothing to do with anything. But
No,
as I said,
I could be ignorant. That's why I'm asking you. Maybe you might educate me. I learn stuff every day.
No. I'm just saying this is
Here's what I'm saying.
the reason why I put the taxes in there more is because I personally feel like this is why they make the decisions that they make when it comes to us not reaching a certain amount of overtime.
So what the taxes got to do with it, bro? Have you ever owned a business before?
No, I have not.
So when state taxes come out of your check, where you think that money go to?
It go to the state, right?
So what vested interest does the business have to do with some money that ain't got shit to do with them in the first place?
Listen, Mark, that's not what I'm saying, bro. What I'm saying, bro, is that
You
said
it. You said it though. You said it.
No. Because you're not understanding. You're not getting it. This is what I'm saying. Hold on.
I just got it.
Hear me out, Mark. So we
I'm
just
gonna
said
I'm gonna hear you out, big dog.
You just asking me why I feel like. Well, no. You asking me about the routes. You asking me if they do it route after route after route or not. I'm telling you that they put it all in one, right? Cool.
Right.
What I'm saying is that yes, I can do all these stops all in one, right? Even if it's at 5 o'clock, after 5 o'clock, before 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, it's overtime, right? If you come in 8 to 5,
no.
Put all this
No. Not after 5 it's overtime. It's after 40 hours it's overtime.
I know, but I'm talking about the day. I'm just talking about for the day.
No. We can't talk about the day. We have to talk about what it is.
Okay.
So hold on, big dog. Hold on. You work Monday through Friday. After 5 o'clock is not overtime. If Monday starts your week, after 5 o'clock is not overtime, big dog. See, here's the thing, and here's why I stop people and correct them for context, because people watch this, and if I let shit go, see, you getting upset. You see, don't click the link. See, you came up here, you ready for you? Yeah.
I'm ready for the smoke, though. I mean,
it ain't no smoke. But here's the thing for people who watching to learn. I have to break it down. Monday starts your week. If you go after Monday 5 o'clock, that's not overtime, big dog.
Okay, so let me tell you the hours that I work that I get in 2 weeks, because I get paid bi-weekly.
Okay.
I get over 115 hours in 2 weeks. Okay, they don't want you to get there. They want you to do all this work, but they don't want you to get there, right? That's
nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to pay overtime. But if they're asking you to, here's the thing: if they're asking you to stay and you're not doing it to milk the clock or steal time from the company, and they're asking you to stay over, they could be mad all they want. There's nothing that you're doing wrong because you're not stealing time from the company. They're asking you to stay overtime.
Yeah, you don't.
Bro, no, you're not.
You ain't from down here, bro. I mean, I can't.
Listen, sir. Listen to me. Being down there has nothing to do with it. There's two things that I corrected you on, right? The second thing that I just corrected you on was like after 5 o'clock it's OT, and that's not true. It's not true.
Is, if you're a relationship,
how, sir? Because Come on, Mister.
Listen, if
I'm
if eight
listening.
to five is your regular shift, listen, if eight to five is my regular shift, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what happens if I work past 5 o'clock? That's not overtime.
You work past 5 o'clock. No, it's not overtime. There's one thing that dictates overtime
You're
on a
looking at it from
federal level.
hours.
I'm
You're
looking
looking
at
at
it
it from
from a
40 hours.
I'm on a federal level.
Right.
Your overtime does not kick in until you pass 40 hours, sir.
Okay, and I just told you my average hour, 115 hours.
Hold on, bro. Listen to me. You getting upset. So if you work after 5 on a Monday and Monday starts your week, that's not overtime. You just worked after 5.
All right.
Like, bro, I'm not finna agree with you because you feel like it's overtime and it's not overtime. It's not overtime.
I'm
Overtime
just
is,
telling you.
hold on, bro. Overtime is after 40 hours, bro. You can shake your head all you want, but that's
I'm just
the
telling you.
truth.
I'm just telling you the bullshit that these corporations play on us, bro. That's all I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the bullshit that we
I don't
deal with.
that's not bullshit. That's just the federal law. 40 hours, sir. Like, what do you mean?
No, right. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that they want you to work. They want you to get this overtime, but they don't.
You got this shit in your head that it. See, he hung up. See, I can't. You get upset all you want, big dog. I'm not finna just agree with some shit because you feel that type of way. Like, that ain't how we do things over here in the space. What's going on, young brother?
What's up with it, man? What's up?
Why you run yesterday, big dog? The pressure was getting to you.
Listen.
Was it getting to you, big dog?
No, it wasn't it, man. I just feel like you didn't really let me get my whole story out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't really let me really get to the actual point. Now I know you pointed out the taxes. You pointed out, um, pretty much everything that I was saying, but that really wasn't my actual point. My point was that as all of us being employers, I'm not saying that I'm expecting to not deal with this in business, because I know that in business you're going to have to go through the same situations and you're going to have to work twice as hard. But my whole scenario was that, damn, why do all this working? Why kill myself, bust my back for somebody else when I can do it for myself? You know what I'm saying? That was my only point to you. That was like, after everything that I was saying, because you can speak for it. When you used to work for a company, how was you? How did it go from you transitioning from an employee to an employer?
I felt like you until I started my own company. You know why? Because the people that you complaining about and the people that I was complaining out, I became those people. And
Right.
how you feel about them is how people felt about me. You know why? Because I didn't give a fuck about their personal feelings.
Right.
And I can prove it. I had an employee come up on the channel last year and said, yo, I thought you was an asshole until I got in business for myself. And then once I realized what I complained about you, people started doing that because I had to push that shit. Listen, I got a job to do. The shit got to get done. You on the move, you doing a route, doing final mile delivery. Hey, you ran into an obstacle early in the day. You did a refrigerator that it was an obstacle. It should have been a 30-minute stop. It turned into an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. And now it's 8 o'clock and you still out. Man, no. It's customers. It's still 3 stops that need to be done that these people probably took off work. You behind on the window and they expecting they shit. No, finish the job. Right. Yeah, so Mark, you an asshole. You this, you that. Then all the truck talk start. Man, fuck dude. Man, fuck dude. And excuse my languages, but this is the shit that you hear in this industry dealing with truckers. Man, fuck dude. I'll beat his ass. Fuck that nigga. The same way you feel is how they gonna feel about you. You know why? Because you're running a business, right?
Right.
And the revenue that comes in for the business that you build is based off what? Productivity, right? Job got to get done by hell or hot water. So guess what? The people that you complain about in the corporation, the people that are above you that are pushing you out to stay out and asking you to go above and beyond, you think that they care? No, because guess what? They have people above them. They probably on salary and they got to take work home with them that they not getting paid hourly like you are. They don't have vested interest in that corporation. They
Right.
have to meet a certain level of expectation because their pay is salary, but they get bonuses based off metrics, productivity.
Right.
So they have to push you so that they can get more
Right.
pay.
And that's what
You
I was
getting
saying. I mean, I didn't want you to frame it because I told you before in the video that I was still educating myself. So whatever that may come out of my mouth, that may not sound business like, or that may not sound uh proper, whatever the case may be. Don't frame me for it, because this is just something that I'm still learning to transition into. My mindset is actually developing in so many ways that I can only imagine, that I can't even really explain right now. So for me to actually come into your platform and have a talk with you, that means a lot, and from watching your videos and from pretty much seeing everything that you explain, it means a lot to me, and it's going to be helpful for me in the future. But the I know what we talked about yesterday before I actually hung up was, you pay your people well, and that's what people struggle with. It's people out here that's living in poverty. They can barely pay their bills. They can barely put food on their family's table. And this is what they have to go into when they work for somebody. You ask, you ask in your videos about why y'all want to start your own businesses. Why did you want to be a business owner or entrepreneur? I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm giving you my reasons of why I feel like I would be best in business, even if I'm not educated enough, even if I'm not full transparent with business. I'm just letting you know that I have a passion for this shit. This is something that I want to do. It's gonna take a lot of knowledge and education, like you say, and a lot of wisdom and a lot of, you know, cutthroat just to get into this business industry. Hell yeah, I totally get it. And I mean, not you, but a lot of these people out here, they always talking about as youngins. See, I'm not one of those cats that's out here asking for a handout. Everything that I got, I work hard for. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't never asked nothing from nobody. I ain't never got no advice from nobody. So I did everything on my own, and I'm proud to say that. So I can only imagine what the next 20, 30 years, what it's going to be like if I'm around your age. I'm going to be even more proud. So I feel like that was my whole scenario. It was just, why do all this work? Why do all this hard labor when you can do it for yourself? You can do it for yourself, and ain't no telling if it's even gonna pay off or not. But with me having my own business, doing it for my own business, I'm more satisfied with it.
I don't think
I'm
I
more
think you
happy.
missed. I don't think I think you missed it. My argument with you wasn't the fact that you want to go off and do your own thing. My argument with you was the complaining about the corporations, the complaining
Yeah,
about the business. Here's why I'm trying to get you to understand, and why I try to get people to understand is you're complaining about a company, right, that has expectations, right, and you aspire to be a business. You came up here with big expectations. You came up here
right.
talking about being the next Schneider and JB Hunt. You want to do expediting freight, maritime, ocean, intermodal. Like, you talking about multi-billion-dollar business. You're talking about going above and beyond. So what? There's going to be metrics. There's going to be a level of performance that's going to be needed to scale up to get to that point. So guess what? What you're complaining about, you are going to become. So what I was trying to get you to understand is, why are you complaining about a business when the business's whole purpose is to bring in revenue? And in order to bring in revenue, they need people to go above and beyond and perform. So when the business wants you to go above and beyond, it's because they need you to do that to bring in revenue. When you hire somebody, what are you going to expect? Do you want them to go out there and be laissez-faire?
Nah.
What are you going? Are you going to push them
Yeah, I'm gonna push them. I'm gonna make
above
sure
and
that if
be
I'm paying them well, yeah, I'm paying them well,
are,
they're gonna do the job.
and you going to want them to go above and beyond, right?
Right, right.
And guess you think they're going to be, man, I just love Jerice. What about one of them days when the guy, he want to go home, but his job ain't finished? What you going to tell him?
Still gotta do the job. I'm
All
paying
right.
for it.
How you think he gonna feel about you when you say that?
Like I'm an
The
idiot.
same,
Like I'm an asshole.
the same way you feel about them. See,
I,
that's where. That, go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead. You said what?
no,
You was
I'm
gonna say
finna
I
say.
didn't think
I'm
about it
finna
like
say.
that.
I mean, I ain't see it that way. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I ain't see it that way. That was my
So,
apology. That was my fault.
so you got upset because I was stopping you because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want the conversation to go. I was stopping you to correct those thoughts, and then we could have continued. But see, you wanted to debate me because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You was in your feelings. Hold on. You know why you was in your feelings? Because you said, man, I feel like I should get paid more if I stay after. That's a feeling because you said the word feel. I feel. Business ain't based off feelings. And I was trying to get you to understand it and instill that in you because if you go into business, you got to have a tough exterior. I'm ruthless, bro. I got employees that have come up on the channel and they've said it, bro. I don't give a fuck about nothing but this bread. I don't care about what's going on. I need you to do the job. If you don't do the job, Rob came up here and I pulled the clips up at the minute mark. So because I don't want people to think that I'm just saying this shit because it sounds good. No, I have real case study of people that work for me and say, yo, man, Mark will play with your money and not pay you. All right, you don't want to do what's in your best interest? All right, bet. I need you to finish the job. Okay, you don't want to finish the job? You mean to tell me you finna bring my truck back to the yard and there's still 2 stops on there? Because you got, all right, no problem, bring my shit back to the yard. The shit gonna get done. It's gonna be late. I'm gonna have to have somebody else go back out and do it. Or I'm gonna have to get my black ass on the truck and go back out and do it. Do me a favor. When you bring that truck to the yard, don't worry about it. Take tomorrow off. Call me tomorrow. They call me tomorrow. Hey, I'm on the schedule for next day. Nah, you know what? Call me tomorrow. The whole time I know I ain't putting them on the schedule, but I'm playing the game with them. Keep calling me the next day. I don't give a fuck. I gotta let you know. Listen, this is the job. This is what you signed up for. It was explained to you at the date of hire that, listen, if you're on a moving truck, if you're on a final mile truck, I can't dictate to you when your job is going to be done. This isn't an industry where we know, oh yeah, the truck is going to run from 8 to 4. The truck is going to run from 8 to 5. You're in the field. You're doing a multitude of jobs and you're going to be faced with challenges and obstacles that could push you behind. But at the end of the day, if you're in the middle of a job on a move, you can't just leave the move. People shit on the curb. If you're on the final mile route and you have a bad day where just the stops are just challenging and it's pushing your day behind, you can't just call it quits. You got to finish your route. This was stated to you at your time of hire. So now that you're hired and because it's summertime and your homies is calling you to come turn up, you're not finna leave me hanging because we already settled this at the date of hire. I'm gonna push you. I don't care what you think. I could be the biggest asshole, punk motherfucker, all that shit. I need the job done. You know why? Because each stop that you do, it results in what? Revenue. And without the shit getting done, there's no productivity, there's no revenue. If I had feelings because you feel a certain type of way, nothing would get done.
I got you. And I mean, I wasn't in the video, so I don't know what happened after when I left. But I seen that there was a lot of guys that was in the comments where he don't know what hard working is, or he don't know this and he don't know that. You know, and I ain't even really gonna get into your audience. I ain't even gonna go back and forth with your audience because they don't know me. I don't know them. You don't know me. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? We just talking. But I do know. I mean, I do have some sense in my mind that it's gonna be tough and it's gonna be hard, and I know that every day is not always gonna be easy. I know that for sure. You know, and you explained that a lot in your videos. You talked about this numerous of times in your videos. So everything that you're saying, I pretty much already have in my mind. It's just how can I transition it? How can I, switch my mindset? How can I go about this? See, I don't have enough guidance when it comes to
Well,
coming from an employee to an employer.
but I'm telling you. But see, yesterday, instead of you listening, you wanted to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? You 24. I'm 44. Right? And
Right,
when I started in 2010, you were 10 years old.
right,
When I started in this industry, building a business, you were 10 years old. So this is the issue that I have with, and it's not really an issue. Let me take that back. With young people nowadays, and I sound like an old man, I'm 44, but I guess I am because all y'all call me OG and Unc. So, you
man.
know, so here's the thing. I'm not telling you nothing, and I wasn't telling you nothing. I wasn't stopping you yesterday to go back. I was stopping to correct your mindset and to shift it because I don't want you to contradict. That's why I named it Paradox. That's why I titled this on the thumbnail. I put the word paradox in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way you're looking at them, here's the thing. Your superiors, they're not doing nothing wrong. They have a job to do. Their job to do is schedule you and get the productivity out of you to generate revenue. They're superiors over them. Your superiors don't have vested interest in whatever corporation it is. They're employees just like you. Do you think they care about how you feel? Of course they don't. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because business doesn't have feelings. Business is based off of numbers, metrics, data, revenue. So in order for you to shift from an employee mindset, you have to unlearn that. And this is what I was trying to get you to understand. You got to unlearn what you got going on from an employee perspective and become a business owner mentally. Because what you're doing, the way you feel, if you carry that over into business, you ain't going to last long. People going to run over you. You're going to be operating in a loss because your feelings is going to be involved. And you're going to feel like, you know what? This person stayed an extra 2 hours. Let me throw them a little extra. Oh, this person complained about this. Let me give them a little extra. You got to get your feelings out the equation. It's going to turn you ruthless. You're going to seem like you don't have a soul.
Right.
But if you continue to operate how you operate, people going to run over you, big dog. Anybody that's been in business, especially this industry, that's experienced like I am, will tell you the same thing. They're going to say, man, he ain't telling you nothing wrong, young man. People going to try you. The moment they see that weakness exposed, that you got a heart, you done, big dog. They send you out there. They probably, when they send you out there and you still working on the truck, they at home.
Right.
Do you think they care that you still out there?
No.
No, because your superiors, they did what they were supposed to do. Get the productivity out of you. So I wasn't stopping you to, I'm telling you from experience, bro.
That's why I'm here. Yeah. Damn. Maybe I was in the wrong. My bad on it. I come back on your platform. I definitely apologize for how the way I lived it. I'm still learning. I'm still, I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna try to better myself though.
Yeah,
As time flies.
And the reason why I stopped you, and it wasn't even a hold accountable thing. If you were an employee and the rest of your work life tenure, that's all you wanted to be, then I would understand your mindset, and I wouldn't even challenge it or correct it, because that's just typical mindset of an employee. But when you shift over to becoming an employer, you become what you're complaining about. And you won't see it until you get in those shoes, and then you'll understand, damn, I become what I once hated. So I stopped you from complaining about it, because you talking about you want to be the next JB Hunt. You're going to have people, in order to get to that level, what you think you're going to have to do, bro? You think you're going to be able to run intermodal, maritime, air freight, and what you say you want to do is a big challenge. I haven't seen a new startup company, do what you say you want to do. The last company that started a company and did that was XPO. XPO is still a fairly young company. So for XPO to start in 2000 and become what they've become now, the third largest trucking company in the United States, 24 years later, is a big feat. That may not happen again, bro. So you want to be them. You want to be JB Hunt. You want to be Schneider. You think you're going to get to that point without pushing people? I remember a guy told me, and I said this on the channel before. It was a guy, he worked for me, and he was late. So, you late, I'm ripping him a new one. We going back and forth. He said, it's your responsibility. He felt that me, as the business owner, I'm responsible for making sure and ensuring my employees get to work. This is what he told me. This is the ignorant shit he told me. Now, you got to remember, I'm in Chicago. So some of the people here, so it's your responsibility to make sure your employees get to work. I said, what? I pay you. If you got a car, make sure you got enough gas money to get your ass here. If you ain't got a car, make sure you got a bus pass to get your ass here. You get paid. Your pay, you take care of your responsibility with your pay. He said, nah, you should get all of us bus cars. This is what he told me. He said, we out here doing all the hard work. We making you rich. This was maybe 2013, 2014. So this is when I really started to climb. And the people that was working for me, they started to see that. They started to see me buying trucks, and then we moved into the warehouse and got the office. So the people that were there at the beginning, as I was renting those trucks and I was going, they see the growth. And that's when the envy started to come. Oh, we doing all the hard work. Fuck the fact that I was out there once on the truck too. Just fuck that. Right. Fuck those three years. It's now that I'm removed and I'm behind the scenes, because this is where I need to be in order to scale the company. I can't scale it if I'm on the truck and I'm running a multitude of trucks, because when things arise on other trucks, I'm on the truck, I can't take care of the business. So now it's, we're making you rich. Why? Because I'm expecting a certain level of productivity. I'm not trying to be their friends. I'm shrewd. Come to work, do your job, and go home. So how you look at the company is how people are going to look at you. You're not going to get to where you want to get to without a certain level of productivity, without you being shrewd, without you pushing. You're using people to get you to that level. See, this is what people ain't going to say. People going to say, I'm helping people out. No, you're using people just like they're using you. They're using you to put food on their table. You're providing them an opportunity. This is what I told him. I'm like, bro, you ain't making me nothing. I'm giving you an opportunity to help you out. I said, the position that I'm in, I put myself here. People are looking to you for an opportunity so that they can put food on their table. You need these people so that you can continue to elevate. Everybody ain't got the mindset that you have to want to go here, right? But
Right.
the mindset that you have to want to go here and the things that you have to do to get there, you're going to do things that people aren't, and I'm not saying they're bad things, but you're going to have to push people. You're going to have to get a level of productivity out of people, because it'll never happen if you don't. If people come to work and they do lazy, half-ass jobs, then what? You're going to have a lazy, half-ass business. You can't build a company yourself, especially to the level that you want to get to.
Yeah, I learned that as well.
So you're going to need people. And if you can get some extra work out of a salaried person, because the level you want to get to, if you want to be like XPO, like you say you do, and JB Hunt, operating in all these different lanes, eventually the company's going to have to go public. Right?
Right.
And then what? Who do you answer to then? I'm asking you. Who do you answer to then? You don't know? The shareholders. And what's the shareholders' main objective? What do the shareholders want the most? You don't know?
Piece of my business.
A return on investment. They don't care about, you know why? Because those people are far, far removed from the day-to-day inner workers. They don't care about the little guys that are actually in the field doing the work that continues to make them money and make them rich. They're investors. They buy stock, they put an ample amount of money in the stock, and they're looking for a return on their investment. They don't care about the feelings. They don't care about this person had to stay late. They don't care about this person was on a final written warning, but his wife was pregnant, and now he got a decision to make. God damn, I'm on a final. I can't call off because I'm going to lose my job. So do I go there and witness the birth of my firstborn, or do I take my butt to work? Because the business ain't going to care that my wife is going in labor. I already done fucked up because I was late 2 or 3 times to put me on this final written warning. And if I go watch my wife, they not going to care. They're going to fire me, but I need this money because I got a newborn baby. These are real scenarios.
Right.
Do you think the shareholders care? They don't even know.
Right. And I was just going to tell you too, I don't even have kids. I don't have kids. I'm single. So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm giving you the scope from a business owner lens, somewhere that you want to get to, and especially at the level that you said you want to get to. I don't care about that. I'm an investor in a lot of different companies. I'm an investor in Amazon. I've been accumulating Amazon stock for years. That's why when these guys complain about rates and stuff, listen, I want the rates to go down. See, the point is to remove yourself from the day-to-day and get to this point. The people that are still down here that don't want to work to get up here and get out of that rat race, they're going to always feel away. They're going to always feel away. The people up here, ROI. What else is a contributing factor to an investor getting a bigger return on their investment? When companies do what? What we seen a bunch of companies do over the past 2 years. Pepsi just did it. Lay people off. What happens when companies lay people off? Stock goes up. Why do you think the stock goes up when companies lay people off? When Amazon laid all these people off, when Google laid all these people off, why do you think the stock goes up? Has Google declined? Has Google declined? Has Amazon declined? No. So all those people that got laid off, all those jobs that they were doing, who's doing them now? Some were replaced by automation, but guess what? Those jobs that they were doing have got added on to other people that stayed in the business. So now they have more work to do. They probably got a small little percentage bump,
But that small little percentage bump for that workload that they got added is saving a lot more money from all the 99,000, whatever the number was, people that they fired. We'll give the people that we keep a small percentage bump, but we're still saving money in totality, getting rid of all these people. We can close down all these corporate offices in all these big cities. Now we're saving more money, which increased our revenue, which increases the shareholders' return on investment. You think those corporations cared that all those people was finna be without a job?
No.
What was the factor that led them to lay those people off? To increase revenue. To increase revenue. Listen, it's all about revenue, young man. So when I say shit, because I know people are going to get mad about the rates, I do it purposely. Because as an investor, I want a return on my investment. I've done what I needed to do. I put the work in. That's the point. You work your way up out of that shit, you become the investor. The people down here going to always complain. It's a mindset thing. You run for cheaper, the company saves money, better return on investment for me. It's not personal, it's just business.
That's how it goes. I hear you. I understand you. Completely. Damn, I ain't think about it that way. My bad.
You don't have to apologize. It's just, you just gotta listen. So when I was trying to stop you and try to shift I was trying to correct you, but you were passionate because you was feeling a certain type of way. Listen, let me explain something to you. You own any property or anything right now? Have you made any investments? Do you own any investments?
No. Besides my business, no.
You still live at home?
No, I stay in my own apartment by myself.
Okay, so you got an apartment. You don't own any assets, any real estate, or any investments, paper assets, or anything like that, right? The older you get, you're gonna face some challenges, right? You still got a lot of growing to do as far as just not learning business, just real life experiences. You're still 24. You're going to come across some things in your life that's going to help you realize that no one cares. I once felt like you. I once felt like, why don't these people care? Why don't the job cares? Why don't these companies care? I felt like you right around your age until I hit a situation that made me realize nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's coming to save you. Businesses don't care. Corporations don't care. And I'm glad I learned that prior to me getting in business, because if I didn't, I would have gotten into business and I would have still had that soft spot. I'm going to pay people well, right? And I'm going to expect a level of productivity out of them. I'm going to expect them to go above and beyond, because if the people don't go above and beyond, how does the company grow? How do you get a return on your investment if the people don't work?
Agreed. I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, man, think about it that way. Yeah, you're right. I do gotta learn. I got a lot of growing to do, a lot of learning to do. But I'm glad I was able to still, I wasn't scared. I was still able to come back up here and own up to what I did and own up to how the way I reacted. Unlike most people that's part in your audience, that's part in your chat, they wouldn't be confident enough to even come up here and talk to you.
You can't look at what other people do. You just gotta focus. That's another thing. I told a guy last night, stop worrying about what other people saying. If people in the chat challenge me. People been challenging me since I came on YouTube. And every single time when I feel like it, I hit back.
Right.
But I don't do it when they want me to do it because I don't run off their time. I run off my time.
Right.
Worrying about what other people thinking and shit like that, that's something else that's gonna hold you back.
Right.
Which
And I'm
goes
trying
back to
to
what
get
I
out of it.
that's which goes back to what I was saying a minute ago. If you worry about, if you're paying somebody handsomely, you're paying them a fair wage for a fair day's work, you can't worry about how they feel.
Right.
You're supposed to have some type of moral compass, but you're paying them handsomely. You're
Right.
paying
There's
them
no excuse.
fair. You want to hear what they say. If there's complaints, hey, they may have certain things that may come up within the job scope of the job that they may bring to your attention, right? That you should take. Obviously you should. But what I'm saying is their personal feelings towards the job. This some bullshit, man. It's hot as hell out here. Just the dumb shit people complain about. Man, it's hot as hell out here, man. I'm out here doing this shit, man. It's hot as hell. See, I'm in a tough market. Shout out to everybody in Chicago. Shout out to people in New York. In these tough markets, we have to deal with tough people that complain about dumb shit. Man, it's hot as hell, man. I'm doing all this heavy ass work, man. This hot ass day, man. Shit, man. Fuck this shit. I don't care nothing about it's hot outside. I don't care nothing about it's cold outside.
All right.
I don't care that it's snow outside. I don't care that it's raining. Get a poncho. Get a poncho. I bought ponchos. I went to the dollar store. They had the dollar ponchos. I bought about 50 ponchos. No problem. It's raining outside. Hey, go ahead. Hey, Telly, get him a poncho. I'm supposed to feel a certain type of way because it's cold. I worked in the cold. This is another reason why I tell people they have to do the work so that you can know what the job entails. One thing a person challenge you on, if they never knew you did the work. When you do the work, they can't challenge you. You've been out there, you've done the work. And not only that, you know what the job entails. So you know if it's something that can be done or not done. You know if you're putting the person through to do a job in extreme circumstances, is it ethical or moral or not? I'm in a cold market. It gets cold, but guess what? Furniture company still selling appliances. Shit still got to get delivered. Moving ain't really busy in the wintertime, but you still have some people that move in the wintertime. So am I not supposed to get revenue to continue to grow the company because you feel a certain type of way because of the weather?
Right.
No. Get your ass on the truck, go do your job, or I'm going to find somebody else that will. And if I can't find nobody else that will, then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to get on the truck and go do it.
So regardless if they get compensated for it or not, that's just what the reality is. That's just what business is.
The job is the job. The scope of the job is the scope of the job. It is what it is. Everybody wants to do something when they first get hired to get in the door, but once they start doing it in repetition daily, every single day, just like how you feel, it's how they feel. Except when you become who you oppose right now, until then, you don't really see how you look and how you sound complaining about the shit that you complaining right about now, because people going to be complaining about that same shit about you. And that's all I was trying to tell you. Then another thing, what I was going to get to you yesterday, but you ran up out of here.
Man.
The first thing you did when you came on was that you looking to start your cargo van business, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
what was the key component? You said, I don't got all the money yet. That's what
Right.
you said. So God is presenting you an opportunity to make the money in a more expedited fashion without having to go out and look for a second job. Your
Right.
job is offering you unlimited overtime at time and a half. This is the blessing that you're looking for, and you complaining about it. So am I bogus for holding you accountable on that? Because you
No,
just
but
said you needed the money. Here's the opportunity to make the money. You're
can I
24.
tip you on something though? The reason why I brought that up was to explain to you why people don't want to work for companies in general and what people deal with when they're in their, employee status, trying to do the jobs and trying to do what's best interest for the company and so on and so forth. I wasn't saying it to, complain, like I didn't want the money, because I knew then, yes, I do need this extra overtime. I do need this extra 115, 120 hours every 2 weeks. So that way I can be able to invest, get my equipment. I can be able to get the necessary things that I need to get done. So I
Right.
wasn't just doing it out of the spite to complain.
But you were complaining. You were complaining. So what you're complaining about is really the blessing that you're looking for to help you enter into the industry that you want to enter into. Some people have to leave that job and go work a second job to come up with the revenue. You could stay at the job that you're on the route that you're on. You're making what you said, 30 additional hours of overtime in a pay period, about
30,
15
35
additional a
years.
week at time and a half. So you don't have to go seek other employment to help come up with the revenue. God is presenting you with the opportunity with where you're at. The time that you would go get a second job, you're doing that right there with your job, except you're getting paid more to do it. That's a blessing.
You're right. I ain't think about that either.
So to me, I'm looking at you, I'm listening to you, and you got this one person in the chat that's siding with you, and I'm like, I didn't get a chance to cook. What I'm doing to you now is what I was going to say to you yesterday, but you ran up out of here. You can't come on a platform and say, I want to start a cargo van business, but I ain't got the money yet, and then later complain about a job that's giving you 30 hours of OT in a pay period. And I'm like, you want to get into the business, you don't got the money, but your job is giving you OT. What are you complaining about? Your blessing is right in front of you, and you won't even got the sense to realize it.
Maybe I didn't reword it in a way
It wasn't a
to
reword. You
where
was complaining. You was complaining. It wasn't
I
a
know, but
reword.
I was trying to reword it in a way to where you will understand why I wanted to get into business, why I wanted to start my own company, and the visions and the, maybe dreams or goals that I may have for myself, and maybe I just didn't reword it correctly
Well,
in that regard.
it wasn't about the words. You complained. The whole point I was talking now was the complaining about your superiors and how they had you doing this and doing that. And then I said, yo, you're going to become
What they
exactly
are.
what you're complaining about. But
Right.
then now we're talking about what you complaining about doing this OT and them putting that work on you, regardless of you feel like they putting it on you because other people are not doing the work. You need the work anyway. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
So,
And I still do it. I still do it. I still get it done.
but this is what you, in order to start a business, I tell people you're going to have to make some sacrifices, right?
Right.
Practice delayed gratification. Go out there and get it and come up with the revenue, right? Now, let's say they wasn't offering you the OT. Would you have to go out and get a second job to help come
Most
up with the
definitely.
money? All right, so
Most definitely.
if they're offering you the OT, which means you don't have to go out and seek other employment. And not only is once you go over 40, you're getting the same hourly pay at time and a half. So you making more there than what you probably making at a second job. So you don't even have to punch out there, drive across town, go punch in somewhere else. You're just staying on your route and getting the OT. So you can't complain about a job that's really funding funding you with the revenue to do what it is that you want to do. You have to
Right.
look at it as a blessing and accept it.
Right. Sometimes it
Because
can be
guess what?
pressure.
Because guess what? It's people that wish they could get 30 hours of OT.
Yeah. True that.
And you want to start a business, you need the capital anyway. You going to listen, if you punch out there, you're going to go punch in somewhere else at a second job. So why just not stay there and make the OT instead of complaining about it?
Which I do. I do that.
Right, but you complain. So am I bogus for holding you accountable on that?
No, you got me. You got me. That's what I'm here for. You got me. I'm gonna take that into consideration. I'm gonna stop complaining and I'm gonna just get to the bag and focus on getting that working capital built up. You got me. You got me. That's my point purpose of coming to you. You the big dog. You've been doing this for a long, long time, so you know. That's why I appreciate what you do. That's why I appreciate what you do for others.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming back. I appreciate you for coming back, and you don't like this is a conversation that we was having. Listen, sometimes some people gonna get the best of you in a conversation. Especially for somebody that's 20 years your senior that got more life experience and more business experience.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it pays to listen. Because I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. I don't want you to go out here and fail. There's people that's in my DM right now, and I could expose them, that don't like what I'm doing. Motherfucker come in my DM talking about, hey man, you doing too much. The game is to be sold, not told. The worst thing that motherfucker could have did was come into my DM with that bullshit. That's why I'm turning up more. If you watching this, don't come in my DM with no goofball ass shit. Because the only thing I want to do is turn up more because I got the time and the resources to do so. So if it's detrimental to your bottom line and what the fuck you got going on, what you selling, too bad. The worst thing you could ever did was come in my goddamn DM and tell me I'm doing too much. The game is to be sold, not told. You done fucked up.
Right.
Ooh, God,
I know
Lord, forgive me for cussing on the Sunday. My mama at church right now, praying for Big Mama at church right now, praying for Big Mark, and I'm sitting up here cussing because they messing with Big Mark. They better leave Big Mark alone. They better leave Big Mark alone. You see what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, big dog. So yeah,
we talked about and we talked about cost per mile because I know you preach that shit a lot on your channel, a lot. But as a new business owner, when you don't really know your cost per mile at the start of it, how would you explain it in your business plan? Like, okay, well, I may not know what my cost per mile is right as of right now, but this is where the, I guess, rough draft of it could be like once I get out there and once I run it. Like you say, start from humble beginnings, right? I have a car, but if I can get a cargo van or express for Facebook Marketplace for a couple $1,000s, I can invest into that. That way I won't have no payments. Two, I do have my cost per mile sheet that's on Excel that explains all my expenses, and I already have it written down. So whenever I get my van and whenever I get a contract, I will already know pretty much, what the average rate per mile, cost per mile would be. But I got to get into the contract, do it, see how many miles I run per week, per day, get all my costs, get all my expenses taken care of, and figure out what the actual number is.
You said you wanted to do final mile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really not really gonna focus on the cost per mile. That's more.
So don't even explain it to your business plan at all. So
no, I mean, listen, no, understand what it is in case you transition later into OTR. But final mile, you're not doing a cost per mile. Your revenue, you don't have to base your operational costs off that formula. That formula is for OTR. There's a different formula that we could talk about, for final mile. It's going to be more percentage based.
Okay. So how would I explain the pricing strategy then? If I don't have a cost per mile and I don't have to go by it, how would I still explain it?
You're doing final mile, they're gonna pay you. It's a few ways they're gonna pay you.
By piece.
One way is a guarantee, which on the new and nowadays is highly unlikely you're gonna get a guarantee. All right. another way, not per piece. Not when you're doing big and bulky final mount. They're not gonna pay you per piece. They're gonna pay you per stop. Per piece. Well, you said you want to do cargo vans, right, or box trucks?
Cargo vans.
Okay, so my bad. For cargo vans, yes, per piece. You can get a guarantee, which is highly unlikely on the new starting out because you don't have any leverage. Another way is per piece, which is the way they're probably going to pay you coming in on the new with one cargo van, doing like office supply stuff. So when you go in there and negotiate and they tell you, oh, $2 a piece, $3 a piece, the next question you should be, well, what's the average piece count per day? So if they tell you $2 a piece, you know, with a cargo van, you at least want to gross at least minimum, at least $300 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So at $2 a piece to gross $300, how many pieces do you need?
80.
No. At $2 a piece, to get to $300, how many pieces would you need to average $300 a day?
15, correct?
No. If it's $2 a piece, $2 and 100 pieces is going to be a gross total of what?
200. My bad. I'm thinking you saying 20. You saying 2. My bad. I'm tripping. My bad.
So 150 pieces, right? So that's how you look at it. All right, boom. If they say $2 a piece, then you're gonna say, all right, what's the average piece count? If they tell you 100 pieces or 80 pieces, then that's not something that you want to do, right? You will need at least 150 pieces, right? Now, depending on what your cost is, depending on if you're financing a truck, and I'm telling you this is going to be based on what your operational cost is.
Right.
Whatever your operational cost say is going to cost you $100 a day to operate. Boom. Okay. My operational cost, I want to make $300 gross because it's going to cost me $100 to operate this contract. Cost. Then if I pay myself, okay, whatever that may be, this is what I need to make so that I could profit this. Whatever that number is, I'm just giving you the formula how you would go in and negotiate. I'm just giving you these numbers. I'm not saying 150 is what you, because you in Alabama. Right. And, you know, your piece, let's say at T-Force, what they pay per piece is not going to be what they paying here or not what they paying in New York. So whatever your cost to operate is, you have to know, okay, it's going to cost me, let's say $100 to run this van all in. All right. Let's say 150 with paying, right? So I need to gross about $300, or it's going to cost me $200 to operate this van, right? I at least want to make $100, all right, for the company. So 33%, right? And then that's how you go in and base it off the percentage based on what they paying. You see what I'm saying? Because it's different. It's different than OTR, right? So that's how you want to do it. You know, you want to look at the piece count, how many pieces, what they paying per piece. Then you need to determine how many pieces you going to need to make the money that you need to make. All right. So you got to have this math already going in. You need to know, okay, this is what it's going to cost. If I don't move this van, it's going to cost me this much a day, whether I move it or don't. If I don't move it, how much is it going to cost me? You see what I'm saying? All right. So now you know what it costs you for that van every day, as far as your fixed and your variable costs. Estimate on your variable costs. You ain't going to know how much you going to spend on fuel until they give you a route. You see what I'm saying? And then from there you go. But that's why you want to make sure you got that buffer. You in a van, I ain't going to spend no more. It's a local route. Let's say I may go out. They're going to tell you, oh, you're going to go out about 50 route, going to be 40 mile radius, 30 mile radius, 50 mile radius. Now you got that buffer so that fuel fluctuate. You know what your MPG on the van. Boom. I know I'm going to make at least about 30 to 33% a day on this. And then you go from there.
Okay. So just pretty much get a full estimate from the contract and figure out what the per piece is, how many pieces what's the average piece you're making, and then try to determine that into your cost per mile.
Piece is going to fluctuate. That's why you kind of want to make sure you understand what you're getting into with that Office Depot, staple shit from Waco or Capstone or T-Force. That shit gonna fluctuate. But I'm just telling you, you need to know what they paying per piece so that you know, okay, boom, I need this many pieces. If they not offer you the amount of pieces that you need to gross what you need to gross on a day-to-day basis, then one, you need to negotiate or you need to look somewhere else. You get what you negotiate. Don't just accept anything. So know what it's going to cost you to operate your vehicle before you go in there and negotiate, so you know what to ask for or you know what to not accept.
Okay.
Your gross, listen, your gross on the cargo van doing dedicated is going to be low. Your profit margin is going to be low.
No.
You probably going to, if you probably going to be netting $100 or less. Depending on what type of van you get, what your note is, if you if you're renting one or not.
Yeah, and that's why I figured out that
it's possible because I was running Office Depot at 33%.
Right.
But this is some years ago, right? So if you were to put a driver in there now, you ain't gonna get a driver to do Office Depot route for $100. You're gonna have to pay at least about $150 to do a route, right? And you got to look at the comps. Look at the comps, all right? You know what the comps are? Like in
competition.
All right, so boom. So look at the comps. What's an Office Depot DSP package route paying right about now? About 150, 160 a route, right? So boom.
I thought it was 180.
Well, it depends on market. I'm just giving you the average. It fluctuates in different markets, all right?
Okay.
So you got to compete then, because you can't, you pay a person 100, 120, they can go run an Office Depot route for a DSP and make, let's say, 180, 160, 150. So you got to keep that in mind too. Okay, well, if the DSPs is paying this, this is comparable to that. I have to pay something comparable so I can attract applicants to come work for me. So even with you going in initially to do it yourself, you still have to think down the line, well, I plan on scaling this. The opportunity presents itself within this facility. I plan on scaling this. So I have to make sure that when I do start to scale, I'm replacing myself. I can pay myself as low or as high. I can fluctuate my pay. I'm not going to be able to do that with the employees. So I got to make sure it's enough room there to pay someone on these routes that I scale and make a small little profit. You put somebody in that truck or that van there and you getting somewhere around $300. On average, it could go up. It could be lower some days. You want to at least make about $50, which which to a lot of people is not a lot, but like I always say, the margins in this industry are small. They're even smaller in that cargo van. The object is the scale. You see what I'm saying? And then you're making a larger amount of money in volume.
And as you scale, don't the contract changes? Can't you get a better contract with the actual company? Or
I can only go off my experience, and I've never had a company say, hey, we're going to pay you more money. Whenever they come, it's always to say, hey, can we talk? Is there a way we can go down to this? I've always operated on a guarantee. So I remember I was getting 300, right, at T-Force for my Office Depot routes. And I forget her name, the operations supervisor at that time. She came, she called me in for a meeting. I drove out to, they was in Wooddale at the time. I think they moved over, where's T-Force now? I think they moved into the old UPS place in Addison. But back when I was there, they were in Wooddale, right off of Thorndale Road, out in Wooddale. I'm telling you, like you from Chicago, you don't know. But anyway, I drove out there to have a meeting, and she was like, hey, can we go down to 275 a route? I was running 9 routes. I had the room to do it because that would it would have brought my profit margin down off each route, and we'd have walked away with $75 off each route. But I held firm. I was running 6 16-footers and 3 vans. So what I did, just to come to some type of agreement, I stood firm on the 16-footers at 300, and then I said I'll go down to 275 for the 3 vans. You see what I'm saying? So I've never came, even with another account we were running for that same 3PL, they wanted to come down. They wanted to come down $75 on my guarantee. And I eventually had to come down because that account moved to a different 3PL that was privately owned. And we had to come down because they wasn't going to pay me. And then eventually they got bought out by XPO. And then XPO said, yo, we getting rid of we're not going to pay you a guarantee. We're going to pay you per stop. And then I just walked away from it at that point.
Shit, yeah.
So even with other 3PLs that I've had, it's always renegotiating to cut the rate. It's rarely gonna go up. I look at some of these final mile routes today, they paying similar to what they was paying. I did a live stream where I showed rates from a final mile contract I was running in 2013, and it's the same that they paying today.
Yeah, I probably ain't checked that out yet. Yeah.
And then I tell people the rates are the same, and they say no, they're not. And I literally showed it. The shit is the same.
Yeah.
So, they rarely, you know what I'm saying? Even when you come or you have, variables that fluctuate. I remember 2014, fuel really, really skyrocketed. 2014. Like fuel, I believe in 2014 is higher than it is right now. But guess what? Like they're not going to pay you more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I've never had a situation where a 3PL came and said, hey, we renegotiate our deal. We're getting more, so we're going to pay you more. No, never heard of that.
Okay.
Well, I've never had that experience.
So is it important to let your business age, before you actually get into the contract, into the 3PL? Or is it best to just go ahead and get the LLC and then just start it right out the gate from your LLC? I mean, I know with the LLC, it said you got to wait 20 days and all that for your, active, but
if they onboard you, then they onboard you. You don't have to let it age. I mean, it's different with final mile versus OTR. You got some final mile companies now require you to, have your authority for 6 months or 3 months. A lot changed after the pandemic. A lot of people messed it up for new entrants during the pandemic. But there's still 3PLs that'll let you on board because it's more high. It's still a high demand for that type of work. So I mean, you can get in. I mean,
and they may be wrong. I know some people told me that. I mean, if you let it age, then it's more likely that you can get in.
But this is a different sector of trucking. Right. Brokers are looking for more age authority now on the OTR side. There are 3PLs on the final mile side that now, after the pandemic, have added that, right? But then there's still a plethora that aren't. AIT, I don't think is requiring it. T-Force, I think is requiring it now. But once upon a time, they weren't. The only reason they started requiring it now is because of the shit that happened during the pandemic and the entrance that came in that made it bad for people that are going to be coming in the future like you. But you still have a plethora of 3PLs that you can.
Don't have to worry about it. As soon
as you get your authority, you can apply and they'll onboard you, so you're local. There's less risk. You got freight, but it's local. It's less risk, you know what I'm saying, than a person who's driving cross country. Cross country OTR always presents more elevated risk than local work in any lane, any capacity lane. OTR is always looked upon as riskier. So, which is another reason why they want more experience.
All right. So when you was asking me about what lane I wanted to get into yesterday, that's what you was talking about. You was trying to see if I wanted to start a local OTR.
Local OTR, final mile, just whatever, final mile, curbside, just what sector?
Oh, because I was telling you, I was like, final mile cargo van, but you kept saying what lane. When I'm like, what other lane are you talking about right now?
I don't think you said final mile cargo van.
I did.
That's why I
said, remember? No. Remember, I said final mile curbside. Find a mile big and bulky.
I gotta go back and rewatch.
Watch it. Yeah. But I appreciate you, my man. And like I said, I mean, I heard everything that you said, and I'm gonna definitely take that into consideration in the future. And I'm gonna try to do the best that I can with switching my mindset and changing my mindset and just learning this industry and learning this game the best way I can. So I'm gonna continue on watching you. Um, and I try to watch you every now and then, man, whenever I get the chance to from work. But I have those days to where I be seeing you on live and I just hit you live while I'm driving. So, I be out there watching. So, just
Appreciate you.
continue on doing what you're doing, big homie.
I appreciate you. All right, you don't got no questions, right? That's it,
That
right?
was it. You pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah, you pretty much answered everything that I need to know. Now that I have a full glimpse of what, pretty much the answer that I have in my head, I know what to do now. So,
Okay.
got it. It's just I know business plan. You talked about it. It's important to have a business plan, which I do. But the pricing strategy part was something that I was trying to figure out. That was giving me a hard time. Because, like you
Mhm.
say, you don't need to know your customer. I mean, you do, but you don't, right? So
Well,
you kind of
your
stumble to.
cost per mile is a metric, is a measure that's used with OTR. You
Okay.
know, so because they base what they're going to take off the rate that they're getting per mile. Over on this side, we look at things a little bit different. If I'm
Okay.
running my Office Depot routes were literally, once my vehicles picked the stuff up in Wooddale, I fought to get local routes. They were sending me way out into the suburbs,
Hmm.
but my warehouse is in the city. So I wanted the routes in the city, and I fought to get those routes, right? So my routes were dense. So the the way we do it on this side is based off percentages. Okay, it's costing me this much to operate. All right, this is what my profit margin is. This is the percentage that we're taking. The miles don't really matter because route is dense. The route probably is within 10 miles total.
Right.
They probably doing 30, 40, 50 stops within a 10 route radius. Some of them even tighter than that. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So that don't really matter. I'm going off percentages. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going miles and miles. I'm not getting paid a rate per mile. I'm getting paid a guarantee, or I'm getting paid. I never did a piece count, or I'm getting paid per stop. Right.
Right.
So it's a little bit different. Now, you go on OTR, then yeah, you want to use the cost per
Yeah.
mile formula to understand what it's costing you uh,
Okay.
to run your truck.
Right. And is it possible if you can do OTR and find a mile at one time? I mean, have you noticed anybody that done it before? Is it possible if it can be a little bit of both, or
You talking about with one truck?
yeah, one or
No,
more? Yeah.
you can't do it with one
Okay.
truck. You could do it at scale. You could have a vehicle OTR. You could have a vehicle that's local. One truck is
Right.
not. You can't do OTR and do, because final mile is dedicated. If you run a final
Right.
mile route, more times than not, if it's a route, it's dedicated. So Monday through
Yeah.
Friday, Monday through Saturday, or 7 days a week, and you just can't use that one vehicle to. That one vehicle can't be in Nebraska and be in Alabama at the same time. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
I
So
mean, I
you
was just
got.
asking. I mean, I didn't believe in it, but just hearing
I
people
mean,
out
no,
here,
no, no. You can do
yeah,
it, but you just can't do it with one vehicle. If you got two vehicles and you got a driver that's over the road in one vehicle, and then you got a vehicle that's local, yeah, that's possible to be done. It just can't be done with one vehicle. That's what I'm saying. You do whatever you
okay,
want. You got your authority. If you got multiple vehicles, you can send a vehicle OTR. You can keep a vehicle local. That's up to you. It can be done. It just can't be done with one vehicle.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Well, yeah, you pretty much answered my questions. Now that you know who I am and you know what my business is now. I mean, I'll definitely be keeping you updated on the progress. So,
Yeah, and just just be more, you know, when people, you just gotta take constructive criticism.
That's
You
what I'm
know,
learning. Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
know,
learning now.
and
Yeah.
you know, it's not easy for me to sit up here and do it, right? Because there's gonna be people that disagree with me, but I know what works because it worked for me, and I can look at other people's situations and listen to what they saying and give advice because I'm experienced enough to know, even if my situation is different, what will and what may not work based off what a person is telling me, because I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? I know the level of work that it's going to take. I know, the situations that a person is going to have to go through.
Right.
I insurance situations. I've dealt with
Mm-hmm.
lawsuits. I've dealt with a plethora of employees. I've dealt with uh, you know, 3PLs. I've dealt with just,
Everything you can imagine.
just yeah, it's a lot, that you come across. Even when I started cross docking, I can sit up here, you know, and tell you the ins and out of cross docking because I did cross docking. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're gonna have people that, challenge that, and I'll listen, but I'm telling people shit based off experience and data and facts. So I wouldn't be sitting here, me, the type of person I am, I wouldn't be sitting here, especially for free, right?
Right.
Just to be saying shit. It's plenty of people on the internet that I see. People tag me and shit with the laughing emoji all the time with something. Like somebody literally tagged me in something yesterday. It was a content creator box truck, not on YouTube, more so on TikTok and Instagram. It literally said you can make $8,000 to $40,000 a week in a box truck. And it's like on their TikTok, and you know how they put the text right there and it says it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Yeah.
what? It's gonna be a bunch of people that click that shit. They're gonna tap down below, like that person said, because they see that big number. They are going to buy that course, thinking that they're gonna get $40,000 in a week, right?
I don't know why people fall
And
for it.
and and they're going to be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
So, me being older, experienced, um, I can honestly tell you that that's not true. And
Right.
which, for me to do that, I'm challenging what other people in this space are saying. So
Right.
that can bring heat on me, but the way I deflect that heat is by when I get up here, I know what I'm talking about. The last thing a person wants you to do when they selling something, misleading people, is piss a person like me off for me to go through your shit. The bigger my platform gets, the more we can get rid of a lot of the misinformation. It's easy for the misinformation to get spread when the largest platforms on the interwebs, right, in this
Right.
space, are larger platforms. The platforms that um, speak the truth and are more community based and have more direct engagement with their audience, because those platforms don't engage with their audience. You see what I'm saying? Are not as
Mm-hmm.
large as those platforms, right? So those platforms have a bigger footprint, right? Which leads to a lot more people being misled, right? So that's why it's imperative that uh, we try to get um, on that level so we can kind of deter a lot of the misinformation and people being misled in the right path, because we know why people put those big numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
Their main objective is to sell you some recycled shit that they bought off Fiverr from somebody in Pakistan in the form of a course that they just rebrand and put their name on it, which is basic, you know, copy paste, basic shit that you could just Google. Hey, how do I start a box truck business? Hey, do I start a trucking business? The shit that you get on my channel and some other channels in the space is not many of them. I can count on one hand, right, of how many box truck channels that I feel if they went away, the space is done and I have some fingers left over.
Shit.
And I'm not bullshitting you. It's not many. It's a few, but it's not many. So,
I hear you. Yeah. But one last question before I go. Because I mean, you gave us a full glimpse of how the way you started and how the way you got into business, and I hear you talk about pretty much everything that you went through, all the experiences, the mistakes that you made. So, was you diseducated when you first started your business, or was you less educated?
no, of
You know,
course
like
I
I mean,
was.
like how did that process?
As far as my higher education is college, yeah, the college education, yeah, because I was removed from
Okay.
college 7 years when I started. But as far as the
Okay.
education in the space, no way, no way. The education I have in the space come from the years of experience, the years of being in the space, right, learning from in the field, and then learning behind the scenes when I wasn't in the field, educated myself, and even still today, with the knowledge that I have from the years that I have, I still have to educate myself on what's coming in the future, right? Especially if I'm gonna create content. When I did my peak season shit the past couple years, um, I had to look at what the current market conditions were, right? I had to look at data, right, to formulate,
Mm-hmm.
my opinion on what I thought peak season. Even though I was faced with adversity, right?
All right.
That was the reason why I could present that content. And even though I was presented with a lot of adversity, and I stood tall and stood true, and I was right. That was information, data that I had to seek currently, not data that I had in my head. Why? Because volume is based on the economical climate of the market at that particular time. You see what I'm saying? So even still today, I have to seek information as it pertains to what's going on in the market right now. Getting up here doing content, yeah, it's easy for me because I have a lot of experience, but still, when I talk about current things as far as market conditions and things like now, or you ain't gonna see no peak season like I did the last 2 years, that I had to seek
Mm-hmm.
data to substantiate that very controversial and bold forecast that I made. And I did it in a way where people just thought, oh, he's saying that. No, you're not going to see what you expecting to see, which they didn't. You see what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
you got to constantly educate yourself, but you're going to get, as you become tenured in the space and you start to see these gray hairs start popping in, these gray hairs just gonna, this is wisdom. The more you operate, the more you learn. The life experiences, like Paul Smith said, mixed in with the experiences that you learn in business. Every win and every loss is some type of experience that you're gonna put in your back pocket, and it's gonna make you, make you a better person. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
losses in business when you up in operational, they're losses, but you got to learn from those losses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Different things. Um, so yeah, you can't take nothing for granted in business, bro. So
Yeah.
nothing, everything, and every day um, is a learning lesson. That's why when I get up here and I say a lot of stuff, I'm just saying it from experience. When I tell people don't come in over leveraged with a high cost of entry, I'm telling you that because I've been operating long enough to know that, this industry, the margins are tight. You don't
I've
want to
heard
come
that.
in, really high, and you don't know what you're doing, especially at the beginning, especially at the competitive landscape it is today, because it's going to be tough for you. Now, some people say don't do it, and I say don't base your business off if a person is going to accept you or not. You got to base your business off your business. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to put myself in a situation where my cost is high, you know, because some people say, well, man, this person ain't gonna mess with you. That person. Listen, I
Yeah.
know it's tough. You know what I'm saying? And just some of the other things that I say, what people may think, oh man, it's outlandish. But no, I'm telling you this because it's true. That's why I don't want to hear no complaining. I don't want to hear nothing about no brokers. I don't want to hear nothing about no rates, because guess what? People have been complaining about brokers forever. And guess what?
So,
It's still brokers, right? So why complain about something you can't fix? You'll never fix it. You know why? Because the fact, because I don't say shit just to be saying it, is what? Truckers 40 some years ago lobbied to have free market, free enterprise. You got it. Now here we are 4.5 decades later. This is the result of what you asked for.
right.
And then when I
Appreciate shit all the
said,
time.
people get mad, but at the end of the day, this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
Mm-hmm.
You think the government is gonna? It's not in the best interest. Why? Shit is already high. We go to regulation in the form of it was prior to deregulation. What happens? You complaining about goods and stuff now. What you think is gonna happen then? They're gonna go even higher. So when I say, listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you gonna compete here and save there, or you gonna
Right.
complain here and let's role play and say something did happen. The extra money you making here, you're gonna lose it there. If you can even afford to compete with the people who got more resources than you, who can operate in that old form of regulation, who can buy a specific route on a specific interstate to the point where they're the only one or the only few who can move that specific commodity on that route.
Yeah.
The
I don't know
reason
why
why
people.
so many people exist now is because of that. So if you get what you asked for, now you got to compete. Business is competing. The people who win don't complain, and the people who complain don't win. The people who win don't complain. Shit happens. They figure out a way and they make that shit work.
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I mean, I appreciate you for speaking with me, getting with me today. Um, I was out of it last night. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was out of it last night. Um,
Man, it's all
so
good,
I'm
though,
on
dog.
today. But yeah, I'm gonna keep you updated. I'm gonna keep you informed, man, on what goes on next, man. For you. So, you know, Stay up, big homie.
All right, man. You be safe.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, man.